Good evening, my victims, and welcome to this year's Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame, brought to you by Hex Studios, with me, your host, Malvolia, the Queen of Scream. Tonight, we induct some of the most influential television and radio hosts from around the globe. But before we get into tonight's ceremony, let's take a look back at last year's Spooktacular Hall of Fame inductees.
The class of 2021, John Zachary Boland, Jack Jacobson, Dr. Scar Chillinai, Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Rod Serling, The Twilight Zone, Narcisco Ibn Serator, Stories to Keep You Awake, Tamara Garina, The Damned Witch, La Bruja Matilda, Juan Ramos Sanz, La Mano Peluda, The Hairy Hand, John Kassir, The Crypt Keeper, Tales from the Crypt, Bob and Mark Carter, Sammy Terry. Enjoy the rest of the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame.
Such a killer group of hosts. The legacies and influence these amazing hosts have left on the world are priceless. And now, without further ado, my ghouls, let the induction ceremony begin. Tonight, we pay homage to the class of 2022. Enjoy.
Hi kids, Hack from Hack's Horror Show, and as a longtime fan of the Angry Brothers, I love watching their show because, like me, they push the envelope. Their humor is often thought-provoking, subversive, or just flat-out screwball. Brother Jack, where do I even start? Brother Jack is a comedic genius. I love the girls. God do I love the girls. Who doesn't? Countess B, all of them. You girls are amazing. Brother James, hipster low-key character, is a great contrast to Jack's high energy. His performance is always high energy. I love Brother Jack's little bits of trivia. Truly, they are deserving of this induction and deserve their places in this Hall of Fame. Without a doubt, every one of them deserve this. The Angry Brothers do it old school. Their style reminds me of old school hosts in their humor. Way to go, guys. Thank you for doing your part and keeping this genre alive. Look forward to so many more. And it's been an honor and a privilege to induct the Angry Brothers into the Worldwide Horror Host Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Well, greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry.
What's up?
Along with Brother James, a.k.a. Les Rob and Blaine Rob. I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of our fans and friends for all the love they've shown to me and all the support through my illness. I am a cancer patient, but I've completed over 35 bouts of radiation and 3 rounds of chemo, and as you can see, the tumors that were right here, they've pretty much disappeared. My throat is getting better, my voice is improving. They had to pull all my teeth during the procedure, my surgery, but I'll be getting dentures soon, and that's going to improve my voice, and it's certainly going to improve my being able to eat and things like that. But I want to give a big shout out to all of my horror host friends. our show ghouls, Countess Lupula, Inferna, Lady Torrid, Ashton Sin, Gulia, and all the others.
We love you.
Yes, we love you, girls. Don't count us out yet. The Angry Brothers are not going out like this.
Yep.
And
Forget that. We ain't going out like that.
Yep, and we want to give a big shout out to the organizers of the Worldwide Horror Host Hall of Fame. It's a really great honor to be inducted in this year's class. We look forward to it. We're looking forward to it, and we will definitely be part of the Zoom meeting. We just have to find out when that is. But again, big shout out to our fellow horror hosts, particularly Lee Turner of After Hours Cinema.
You rock, Lee.
Dale Strebel, Chris McCabe, a.k.a. Oliver, Dale Strebel, a.k.a. Uncle Edward, Penny Dreadful,
Misty Myers,
Yeah.
And the list goes on and on.
Yes, it's a very, very distinguished list, believe me. But, and we want to thank Scott Paulson as one of the organizers for this, and thank you so much and the rest of the board of the Hall of Fame for inducting us. We're going to keep this short, so, again, I'm on the mend. It's going to take a little time, but Brother Jack's going to be back in the swing of things before you know it, so hang in there with us. And remember, friends don't let friends wear lab coats, and let's keep America on top. Watch Horror Hosts, y'all.
Peace out, homies.
Thank you.
Lights out, everybody.
Hi everyone, I'm John Miori, writer and director of such films as Creature from Cannibal Creek and Exorcism of the Dead. I also play Johnny Goulash for Partially Devoured Movies. I hope you're all having a spooktacular time tonight. This is the second annual virtual worldwide television and radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. Say that 3 times fast. We are gathered here tonight in the name of horror to induct one of the most iconic radio voices of his time. Willis Cooper was known for his infamous late-night radio programs such as Lights Out and Escape during the 1940s and 50s. Little boys across the nation would sneak downstairs and turn on their grandpa's radio. They'd listen for hours to these fascinating horror stories that left them at the edge of their seats. Willis Cooper was also known for his writing contributions to such films as The Phantom Creeps, featuring Bela Lugosi, and Son of Frankenstein with Boris Karloff. The impact and influence that Willis Cooper left all of us will last forever. Just like the zombies in my backyard. Without further ado, it is an honor to induct the boogeyman of radio, Willis Cooper, into the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. Our halls will forever be darkened by his ominous presence.
A huge scream out and thank you to all the sponsorships and cross promotions shown here for their undying love and support.
This is KYW-TV, Channel 3 in Philadelphia.
This is Saturday Night Dead, starring Stella, that man-eater from Manayunk. Tonight.
And now, for an important transmission from the august personage of Dr. Sarcophagi.
Hey, cool cats. I'm happy to help you all to induct into the second worldwide television and radio horror host Hall of Fame, Stella, the man-eater from Manayunk. Yes! Clap, damn it. That's wonderful. Say, do I get a trophy for doing this? I just thought I'd ask.
Well, I would like to thank the Worldwide TV and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame for including me. I'm humbled to be part of TV horror history and proud of my place in it. And I want to thank all the kids who sneak downstairs in the middle of the night to watch spooky movies or who surf the internet for chills and thrills and who make this unique American folk genre such a rich part of our culture. But most importantly, to all the crazy adults who never grow up, thank you to our wonderful, fun, kooky horror family, and a shout out to Scott Keymaster. I'm honored and humbled. Thank you.
Good evening, horror fans from around the world. I am actor, producer, editor, and narrator Scott Ryan Paulson. You might know me from such features as the Lake Villa Vamps animated series by Down Twisted Studios, or you might know me from my television program, The Deadbolt Horror Show, as I portray the Keymaster / a Poe Michael. Anyways, tonight, I have the honor and privilege of inducting one of Wisconsin's longest-running horror hosts, next to Orson Welles. This rock and roll horror host is still rocking the airwaves today with his television program, Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, which is showcased in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's absolutely one of my favorite horror hosts to watch with a top hat. The guy is the epitome of a horror host. He has spent over 30 years at the Haunted Manor at the Jerry Smith Pumpkin Farm, as well as hosting his on-air radio program Area 1051, featured on WILP 1050 AM. It's an honor to induct Dale Wombold, Dr. Destruction, into our Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. Enjoy the rest of the ceremony, my ghouls. Hee hee hee.
I'm honored myself to be inducted into the Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame, the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. It's a great honor for me, I have to say. Since I was a young kid, I wanted to create a horror character. I wanted to have a haunted house, and who would have known that those dreams of a 10-year-old would finally become some sort of convoluted reality. And it's been a pleasure to be horror hosting for 20 years, for haunting for 30, and playing music for just about my whole life. I have a lot of people to thank. The list is lengthy. I would have to thank that anybody that ever was a guest or a character on my show. I thank them. I thank Kenosha Community Media in Kenosha, Wisconsin, for what they've done for me. Of course, Jason Rimkus, and of course, our very own Ralph Pirro for many years. I have to give a shout out to Nick Clapper in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We did the show in Milwaukee for Milwaukee for quite a few years. A lot of fun times with Nick Clapper. And I have to also thank Christopher Kai House and Heather House for keeping the current version of Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater on the air. I'd like to thank everybody in the Kenosha area, Jerry Smith's Pumpkin Farm, and Mayor John Antaramian for keeping our access channel, the Kenosha Community Media Channel in Kenosha, going. I thank you all. VPod TV, thank you as well. Anyone that's ever been associated with the show, I thank you. I'm honored beyond belief. Thank you so much.
Well, hello there, my naughty little devils. It's your man Stan here, the one and only satanic mechanic, ready to check that dipstick and your oil. I'm here today with the distinctive honor of inducting Ruben Aguirre into the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. Ruben was the host of Teleterror on the now defunct Televisión Independiente de Mexico in the mid-1960s. Each Friday night, he would host a selection of B-schlock horror clunkers that we all know and love, but because he had a network backing, he did get to host the Universal Classics from time to time to the adoring Mexican horror-loving public. At the end of the films, he would return and, in his deep, resonating trademark voice, offer some factoids on the film and some witty commentary. From Teleterror, Ruben would end up befriending the legendary humorist Roberto Gomez Bolaños, and the two would become lifelong friends and colleagues, which is how Ruben ended up becoming Professor Girafales on the beloved TV show El Chavo del Ocho, which is what he's best known for. Ruben's heart never strayed too far from horror, though. He appeared in a few genre classics, including 1974's Santo y Blue Demon contra el Dr. Frankenstein, which is about two Mexican wrestlers that team up with detectives in order to bring down Professor Frankenstein's evil grandson. And he also appeared in 1991's El Vampiro es un Tiro, which is about a vegetarian vampire that faints at the sight of blood. Later in Ruben's career, he would end up owning and touring with his own circus until 2007, when an unfortunate car accident would force him into early retirement. Ruben died in 2016 at the age of 82. Although Teleterror footage is difficult to find, the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame is committed to maintaining its memory and that of its beloved host, one of the few Latinx horror hosts in the game, Ruben Aguirre. Thanks for having me, guys, and until next time, I'm Stan the Mechanic, the demon you could believe in.
Well, hello, boils and ghouls. I am Count Gregula from Count Gregula's Crypt on Chicago Now, that is part of the Chicago Tribune Media Group, and look, I'm on vacation. I wish you were here with me. But I hope you're enjoying our second annual virtual Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame ceremony right now. This is a night of celebration. Ghouls, stay tuned as we continue to induct the class of 2022.
We have life. The better to see you two with. Hi, I'm Bill Cardo, Chili Billy.
I am the all-powerful Diaoshi Chocho, mystery of spells and master of vampires. Welcome back, ghosts. You see Jiangshi here? Jiangshi is Chinese for stiff coast. This is why they hope, because they're stiff. Bill Cardia， 我想欢迎一位曾经在宾夕法尼亚州匹兹堡出没的人，加入全球电视和广播恐怖节日主持人名人堂。从印第安纳县 WDAD 电台的夜间唱片节目开始，他还是 Colbert 的推销员，担任各种角色。在杰克逊叔叔的啤酒和许多电视广告中，他还是活死人之夜的现场记者。和白天电梯里死人的僵尸。今晚我很荣幸能够加入我们的怪异的全球电视和广播电台，或者从去了纪念主持名人堂 Bill Cardia。
And now, tonight's presentation from radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Oh, hello! I'm actor and horror host Evan Story. You know me from Space Theater as Lord Bond, or here's Lower Steam Row. But, why am I here at the Horror Host Hall of Fame to introduce Joseph Kearns into the Horror Host Hall of Fame? What's the name? Who is this? You don't know? Well, do you know Suspense? Suspense, absolutely awesome. This was kind of like a spin-off series from Forecast. Great series. This guy was an announcer. He was the man, and he evolved into the Man in Black. This is just an absolutely fantastic mystery thriller kind of series. Great storylines, and there's like 945 episodes, but 900 are still existing. So hope you check those out. That's a pretty big and large impact for a number of episodes, especially the horror hosting. How about not the horror hosting? Why don't we travel that over into acting? This guy has done so different types of acting. It was on Dennis the Menace and George Wilson. He did Gunsmoke, 2 episodes of I Love Lucy. He was a doorknob in Alice in Wonderland. Who has not seen that? If you have not seen the animated series of Alice in Wonderland, where have you been? This is an absolutely iconic, wonderful, and such a good and large name into the world of acting and horror hosting in general. So I will even mention a fact that you probably didn't even know, because before he even did horror hosting, he was even into the wool business, but that didn't quite work out. Because he spent like $8,000 on this wool, but they didn't know how to work it back then. And since that failed, he went into the acting and horror hosting career. And I will say it paid off immensely. So, that is a great stunt, honor, and privilege to welcome in Joseph Kearns to the Horror Host Hall of Fame.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London.
Oh, there you are, ghoulies. I've got a very distinct honor tonight. I get to introduce and induct Orson Welles into the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame, which is a distinct honor considering Orson Welles is from my hometown of Kenosha. As a child, I always knew who Orson Welles was from very different television performances or his Orson Welles Great Mysteries. I had a picture of Orson Welles on my wall in my bedroom when I was a mere 10 years old. Well, later in film school, in the university, of course, I discovered Citizen Kane, Jane Eyre, Touch of Evil, and many of the great films that Orson Welles did, and his incredible things that he brought to film, radio, and television. Of course, who could forget him reading H.G. Wells in the Mercury Theater, of course, and causing a panic when he described War of the Worlds, as if it was actually happening for real. So Orson Welles is a fantastic figure in my life. He's larger than life, and I'm so pleased to announce that he is inducted into the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. Thank you so much. And a special shout out, thank you again, Keymaster Poe.
Hello, I'm Orson Welles. Well, once I found out that I was being inducted into this, whatever this is, then I realized that I needed to make a speech. So I always happen to have a speech ready and prepared on me because I received so many awards, and I want to be prepared because that's who I am. However, knowing that this was a part of Dr. Destruction's thing, whatever he does, this show, then I also wanted to adjust my my speech a little bit. So that's what I did. So here we go. Well, here I am once more, not knowing precisely what to say. Apparently, I'm being inducted into the Worldwide Horror Host Hall of Fame. This makes me quite uneasy, since I am being inducted into something I never knew existed in the first place. I'm being inducted for reasons unknown in a place I swore I'd never return to by the biggest imbecile I know. That's you, Dr. Destruction, wherever you are. Perhaps I'm being inducted due to the massive panic caused by reading War of the Worlds. Of course, it was the fault and idiocy of every listener to take something so creative yet mundane, yet hold on to its every word, believing the work of science fiction to be completely and utterly true. Yes, since I was born, I have been surrounded by idiots, especially here in Kenosha, which is why I left. There are a few people I would like to mention. Thank you, dear old grandmother, for your consistencies in your hocus-pocus black arts, your constant breathing down my neck over anything I do, and for showing up to dinner unannounced or when you're not invited. It's for these facts alone that have helped solidify the very reason I do not get together with my family. After all, they are the devil's curse. Next on the list, Dr. Destruction. We have spent many miserable shows together. I always regret saying yes to you. I assure you that it will never ever happen again. You are a foolish, idiotic, and terribly disgusting host. This morning, the pickle that I ate had far more talent than you'll ever possess. I feel bad for the mere mortals you have scammed into watching your pathetic shows for far too long. I beg you to destroy your mind-controlling device so that they may be released from your grip. The people will be released and you'll allow them to return to their normal, mundane lives. And finally, to the viewers and listeners out there who have supported me throughout my incredibly accomplished career, I deeply, truly, humbly thank you. I realize that I would not have a career without you. Go live your lives, be creative, invent, create, write, film. If you want a happy ending, that depends, of course, on where you stop your story. Unfortunately for me, my story stops here in this miserable little venue. Dr. Destruction, never call me again. Thank you.
A little bit, like background. Okay. No. You have caught me casting spells in my casting room, here in the Severe family crypt. I was just casting a wonderful spell involving the use of a great deal of hot, red lip gloss. Yeah. I love that lip gloss, let me tell you. I go through gallons of lip gloss. I rub it all over myself. I'm silly. But one thing that I love even more than drinking lip gloss and casting monster masks for sale on www.spookshowmonstermasks.com. And a thing that I love even more than hosting my own Mikey Severe Spook Show on YouTube. I love being a presenter at the award show. It gives me all the good feelings inside my black witch man vampire werewolf Frankenstein guy heart. That's why I was pleased beyond belief when I was asked by the worldwide television and radio Horror Host Hall of Fame to introduce our next inductee. Vincent Van Gogh was once better known by the name Vince Vandal when he played in a 90s metal band, Prince of Darkness. He has long since retired from music and now resides in the historic Bolter Mansion in Bodega Bay, California, along with his Stuart Livingston and his young boy, Tangela. He hosts the 21st century reboot of Creature Feature. Now, ladies and gentlemen, children of the night, I give you our next inductee into the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame, Vincent Van Gogh.
We bring you The Witch's Tale, written and...
Miriam Wolf from Witch's Tale。约翰福音以起初就是这个词开头。我们下一位入选全球电视和广播恐怖主持人名人堂，是一位女演员、导演和制片人。她最初将她恶魔般的歌声借给纽约最早的广播电台之一 WGBS。她曾担任一位为50多部电影和卡通片配音的编剧，出现在电影中，并录制了唱片。虽然她是一只真正的狐狸，但我们在谈论来自女巫故事的 Miriam Wolf。Thank you, Ghosts, for watching the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. And thank you to the Alice Theatre in St. Kilda for following us to film here and to Chop Block TV for inviting me. The great mystical Taoist priestess, Tao Shi Zhou, and this pathetic Gui Lou Jiang Shi to be on the show.
Hello again, horror fans. Once again, it's Scott Ryan Paulson here, back for the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. Our next inductee is an American hero. He has put his life on the line in the military as well as a peace officer. Brian Hogue is the epitome of a monster kid, showcasing his weekly radio program Chiller Chat, where he interviews actors and celebrities from the horror genre. He also hosts Jack Shadow's Realm of Terror, haunted house every year in his community for the kiddies looking for a scare. And last but not least, he is the amazing spooktacular horror host Jack Shadow from Chiller Night Theater, my ghouls. It's an honor to induct the man, the myth, the legend, Jack Shadow, Brian Hogue, into our glorious Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame.
Hey, I just want to thank the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame for inducting me. A special thank you to Scott Paulson for planning and coordinating this great event for the horror host community, with a big shout out to the one and only Keymaster Slasher Poe at the Dead Vault Horror Show. Now my alter ego, my creepy half, is Jack Shadow, host of Chiller Night Theater. And my inspiration for being a horror host was watching Bill Chilly Billy Cardell, the host of Chiller Theater out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I knew Bill for several years before he passed away, and I'll always be thankful for his support and for appearing as a guest on my show. It's a neat thing that we do. We're narrators, we're storytellers, we're joke tellers. We are the balance between fun and fright. So again, thank you for inducting me in this amazing event. Have a good night. Have a good chiller night. See ya.
Hello, boils and ghoulies. Welcome to the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame ceremony. My name is Kez Creeps, Temptress of the Dead, hostess for the Dead Vault Horror Show. Now, a little bit about myself. I like to do tattooing while doing my special effects monster movie makeup. If you are interested in my work, feel free to look at my Instagram, kez.creeps. My first horror movie as a child was Hellraiser. I was 6 years old and I was hooked on horror ever since. And now, for why I'm really here. It is my honor to induct Mila Normie, known as Vampira, into our spooky Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. Known for her martini eyeballs and blood-curdling screams, the first 1950s horror host pioneer of horror comedy definitely earns this spot. Her outfit was inspired by the evil queen from the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, and not to mention Morticia Addams from the Addams Family. Her look, demeanor, and her dark puns really inspired me and the other horror hosts around the globe, making her so iconic in this industry. Round of applause, Scream Queen. We love you. It is my pleasure to induct Vampira into the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame. Cheerio, ghoulies. I have a hearse to catch.
Tonight, we toast to the accomplishments and accolades of these TV and radio horror hosts. Our eerie hallways will be forever brooding with these killer hosts that we've inducted here tonight. With the ever-changing genre of horror, horror hosts will always be around for your entertainment. And with that, we salute all the hosts from around the world. Thank you so much for your dedication and contribution to our cherished genre. I have been so displeased hosting this event for you tonight. Until next time, pleasant nightmares.
From all of our event coordinators and representatives here at the Worldwide Television and Radio Horror Host Hall of Fame, we say thank you for watching and continuing to support this beautiful genre. Until next year, my fiends, support horror hosts worldwide.